The following broadcast is brought to you by Mad Dog TV, a dog free entertainment limited company.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Dangerous Mondays with Dave, Selezen Hughes. That's me, by the way. Yeah, some technical problems there. Sorry about that. Yeah, don't know what the hell was going on there, but just nothing seemed to want to open up in the right window. Every time I tried to open up a window, it came up on the wrong screen. So this problem with a multi-computer and multi-screen setup is it sometimes just doesn't bloody work. So yeah. Anyway, we're here now. We're okay. I have to apologise for the noise from outside because tonight, just as I'm starting to scream, the neighbours have started to scream and shout their odds. So, damn kids. Caramba! Welcome to the stream. Oh. Anyway, how are you all? God almighty. So I'm just trying to get the head tracking working properly now. Just do a bit of this, make you all seasick. I've just restarted the machine, everything's really jerky. The technical issues, pretty much, to be honest, have stemmed from a bit of a fright with viruses. Hi Selezen, how you doing? Why am I saying hi to me? What I meant was hi Garzini. DJ Truthsayer, thank you for the host. Appreciated, mister. It's very jerky. I don't know if you're picking that up on the stream. You're probably not, because it's still on the bloody title screen, isn't it? Hang on. How unprofessional. Let me just... No, it's the wrong picture. There we are. I'm thrown for a 6 today. I do apologise. Hello, everybody. It's just been one of those days today. Nothing I've done today has worked out. No, so is the joystick working? Yeah, that's something at least. Right, so... Just let me double check that everything's on and working. Let's switch voice attack on. Let's get some of that background music playing that we love so much. Right. Now, it's Road to Riches time again tonight. I'm going to try something a little bit different. Someone told me that you can copy and paste system names into the Elite Dangerous maps, so I'm going to give that a try today. So let's go back into the game. Open Galaxy map.
Stellar cartography.
Boop. And you can. Mega. Close Galaxy map.
Closing map.
Right. Raise landing gear.
Gear coming up.
Interesting. Rise from our crater. Malik VR, thank you for the host. I have a funny feeling I might be about to be inundated. Found anything yet? Yep, here we go. Here they come. And welcome to the content of Malik's stream. Engage Super Cruise.
Engaging cruise.
Someone's going to have to explain this we ain't found shit to me. Although if I've maybe watched Malik's stream now and again, it might help. The only problem is it kind of overlays with my my work, my job, my day shit. Sadly.
Activating beacon now.
Why? I have seen Spaceballs. Years and years ago I saw Spaceballs and I've watched it a few times, but I don't remember that. I have to watch it again. An excuse to watch Spaceballs. Awesome. Comb the Desert I remember. Thank you for that link that I'm not going to click. Jump.
Jumping.
Good evening, Bifford. It's a really bad URL leading to puns and jokes. Why no sound? What the hell? Oh my god, I haven't turned the bloody desktop audio up yet. There we go. It was on, it was just at medium. Obviously everything else was quite quiet. Slow down. I'm being very, very quiet. No, it wasn't you, Biff, it was me. I hadn't turned the sound up, to be honest. Thank you for the follow, MC Jamzam. Good name, I like that. It's got a Z in it. It's always cool to have a name with a Z in it. Can't beat Zs. Bifford, please plug in your headphones. No, it's fine. It was my fault. It was me. I'm not loud. I'm not even shouty. Well, not much anyway. Jump.
Engaging jump.
Left 4 pills. Left 4 pills. Not entirely sure about it. I'm sure about that one. Left 4 pills. If you're a person left 4 pills, then thank you for the host. If you're an online pharmacy selling dodgy drugs, then please don't host me. That reminds me actually, God almighty, this is one really sensitive in here today. Open system map.
System map.
So we're looking at 2 and 1. There first. Close system map.
Closing map.
Nah, that's never good. 200 bits! Thank you, Garzini! You've ousted DJ Truthsayer from the top tier. Well done. And thank you. Oh dear.
Crew.
No, I said boop. It has gone very sensitive tonight for some reason. Open system map.
System cartography.
Close system map.
Exiting map.
This is planet... Oh, this is system 50, Garzini. So not that far. A fair bit to go yet. How many is there? There's a fair amount in there. 295 listed here. Open galaxy map.
Stellar cartography.
Boop, boop. Boop. Close galaxy map.
Leaving map.
Jump.
Engaging jump drive.
Open system map.
System map.
Oh wow, look at that! First discovered by Simon Winard. We know the Simon Winard, the man responsible for half of the crap that goes into Dockers. If anybody's heard of Dockers. So, we have... That's done. A2. Closed system map.
Leaving map.
Okay, this is going to be a little bit of a thing. My wife's just posted on Facebook. Apparently it's the Lost Boys 30th anniversary. On this day, 30 years ago, the Lost Boys made their way into theatres, and my wife has posted that this is the film that we actually went to see on our first day, which is quite cute. Seems to be losing tracking. But anyway, there was something I was going to say, and that is, one of my, as you probably know, I do this stuff. I do the old Twitch streaming, which is my sort of main thing, kind of main thing, because it's the thing I put most effort and most time into sorting out. But I also have a YouTube channel, and on that YouTube channel I occasionally do a few kind of review videos and vlog videos and build videos and that kind of stuff, you know, weird different stuff. Come on, my channel, there we go. On that video I did a loot wear review a few days ago. So I'm getting the t-shirts from the Loot Crate rather than getting the Loot Crate boxes. And on that video, someone has posted a comment. The Elite Gamer Squad has posted a kind of comment on there that says, "First review comment, like, please can I have a shout out? It would mean the world to me." Which technically I've just done, right? So, but the problem I have, and this is something I've kind of asked him as well, and he hasn't responded. But now that I'm actually doing the that's a nice suit. Oh, you mean this suit? Yeah, I know. Lovely, isn't it? It's great. It's like Tron, but in Elite. Open system map.
System cartography.
Now we're going to 1. Closed system map.
Closing map.
Take it that's what you mean anyway, Blazer Geek. So yes, this is Elite Gamer Squad. Turns out he's a lad who does some gameplay videos, mostly PlayStation 4 based. Yes, it is Blazer Geek, Legacy Flight Suit. That was exactly right. The problem I've got, and this is where it gets a bit dodgy, is because the guy is very young. He seems to be about 12, roughly. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not a big judge of people's ages, but he seems to be 12 or perhaps a bit younger. If he's older than that, then fair on him, fair enough. But I know I wouldn't say he's definitely 16, because for one thing his voice hasn't broken yet by the sound of it, and he has his little brother watching him play videos. At least that's what I've seen on a couple of them. But the issue I've got is that he wants me to give him a shout out, and I'm a bit concerned that if I give him a shout out and people go and watch his channel, there's going to be somebody out there who may kind of point out the fact that he's a fairly young lad, and he's playing fairly mature games. Now, one of the games that's on his early list is Battlefield 1. And one of the games that he's playing at the moment is oh crap, what's it called? Some kind of anime thing. Mirror's Edge. Now Mirror's Edge, I know, is a 16. Because I checked. And obviously Battlefield and so on. He plays Titanfall and a few other things. All of which I would say are slightly dodgy in the fact that he's a fairly young lad. Now I'm not sure how this would work, how this plays out on YouTube. And obviously because this video goes out on YouTube, I've now sort of perhaps landed him in the shade. Obviously depending on the sort of stuff that gets said on stream or on channel and like that, then I may not upload this part of the video to YouTube later on. So I'm not sure where to go with it. So by all means, hello, thank you for the comment, Gamer's Edge. Sorry, Elite Gamer's Edge. Sorry, shut up, David. The Elite Gamer Squad. Hello, there's your shout out. Thank you for the comment, thank you for watching. I hope you like the videos that I put on there. But be careful, because if you are streaming or broadcasting content that is overage for you, then you might get in trouble. I was of the opinion that YouTube has a 13 years old limit on people that can join up. So my assumption would be that you're 13 or thereabouts. I hope so. Alternatively, but as I would say, that 16 games, mature games, maybe not something you want to be live streaming, matey Bob. But hey, I don't know what the rules are. I don't know what the law is. I don't know how the age things work online. It's something I've never actually looked into, because I know there's quite a lot of people who game and who broadcast on YouTube at the same time, being fairly young. And I've nothing against that at all. Don't get me wrong. I'm just a little bit concerned that somebody is broadcasting themselves playing games that they are clearly too young for. And I know that is it Peggy tend to kind of frown upon that kind of thing. But I don't know how much of an issue they tend to make of it. And honestly, I don't know what YouTube does with this kind of stuff. Where do I go next? Where have I just been? A1. Open system map.
System cartography.
So that's one done. So B3. 1, 2, 3. Close system map.
Leaving map.
So what do you guys think? Should I be worried about it? Is it one of those things that I should care about? Sorry about that. I think it's the inherent parent in me, or the inherent control freak in me, one of the two. But no, that's one interesting thing. It's always nice to get a comment, and I love the fact that I'm getting comments. I don't care how old people are, or how young they are, or people who enjoy the videos that I put on there. That's why I do. That's why I put them on there. People watch them, people get some enjoyment out of them. Mission accomplished. Makes me happy. Also quite. Oh, I don't have the bloody thing up, Bifford. I don't tend to have the Twitch window actually open while I'm streaming. Channel. Mute. See, private note. Okay, what private note? Where? I don't know where you are. Oh, there it is. I've had a look. Pipper, thank you for that. Doesn't really tell me any more than what I already know, is that one, he looks very young, and two, that he allows his brother to watch. Which, again, as I say, isn't... The fact that he is young worries me. But as you say, Garzini, it's not my problem. It never is my problem. The only thing that worries me is that I know I don't have a particularly large viewer base, but I do have some people that watch, and of varying different ages, and I don't know whether anybody would have a problem with it out of the sort of 5 or 6 people who are regulars and the 50 to 100 people per week that I get watching, which is amazing, and I have to say thank you for that, guys, because up until DJ Truthsayer started pushing my channel out there, I was only getting like 5 or 6 people a night. Now I'm getting double figures, sometimes triple figures, so that's awesome. Thank you for that. But obviously that increases the amount of people that are actually watching and could be potentially miffed by this lad. But no, the stuff I've watched that he's done is fairly good. You know, he's a young lad starting out, getting used to the way that things work, and he looks like he's quite entertaining. So, but yeah, so have a shout out on me. I don't mind. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind that kind of thing. People get shout outs. It's an honour to be asked, no matter who it is that asks me, to be honest. So anyway, that's that. So that's that. That's one part of YouTube that I'm quite interested about today. But the other thing I've heard of is apparently, oh crap, loop of shame. Yeah, I'm not going to go on about that guy anymore. I think the thing that worries me is that I know if it was my kid who was doing that kind of stuff, I'd be slightly worried that he was playing stuff above his age group. My grandson at the moment has grassed his dad up for sitting playing Grand Theft Auto 5 with him around. You know, he's 5, so you can tell exactly what kind of shit he's in now, basically. Yeah. Open system map.
System map.
Planet 2. Paste. 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 2. Close system map.
Exiting map.
Well, my tracking on the headset is way off tonight. It's drifting like crazy. I'm going to centre that on there and slow it a bit down, and I'm going to go and retrack this bloody headset. Hang on. Not the right time for that to happen. Let's see if it worked. Oh, that sneeze came out of nowhere. Whee. The other YouTube thing that I've kind of found out about today is I've been watching Nerdcubed for a hell of a long time now, and he's announced today, or was it yesterday? Yesterday's video, that he's taken a month-long break. And the reason he's doing that is because essentially YouTube is pissing him off big time. And I can see why. I mean, from its explanation as to it all, I mean, YouTube aren't particularly user-friendly anymore. They've kind of gone a little bit Machiavellian with the things that they do and the way that they do things, so they don't communicate anything out anymore. When they make changes to things, they're not telling people about it, so suddenly your interface will change and your layouts will change. The way that you do things will have to change to cope with that. So rather than being responsive to the customer, which is what they're kind of expected to do, because essentially the content providers who are populating their channel are making their money for them, as well as making money for themselves. So it's a bit unfair that they're kind of not really victimising, but kind of causing problems for those content creators by not engaging them in conversation when they change something. And one of the things that Nerdcube was saying is that he's going to go for Twitch for a while. He's going to sort of concentrate on his Twitch channel for the next month, which is also fair enough, because he says that Twitch are more of the kind of, we'll get this stuff done. We're doing this, we're doing that. They'll let you know everything that's going on as it happens, and they're a lot more friendly towards the people who are creating the content on their channel. So again, they're taking a business model that is more geared towards the content creator being aware of what's going on and being supported in their efforts on their channel, which is fair enough. Open Galaxy Map. Open Galaxy Map.
Stellar cartography.
And it's a bit of a shit that this kind of stuff's happening. I mean, YouTube has built a huge market for itself with content creation. I've been a partner on YouTube since YouTube Live kicked off, but I've never actually started to use it, because around about the same time was when all this other YouTube Red stuff started, and all the different things about content creation was starting to get more difficult. Closed system map.
Closing map.
Closed system map.
Exiting map.
Jump.
Jumping to light speed.
So, one of the things that I've been thinking about doing was trying to open more up on the YouTube channel. But again, things like YouTube Red have kind of stopped these things going on. One of the things that has always been a YouTube thing, as far as I'm concerned, is your view count has always been the thing that everyone's benchmarked their channel success on. And I'm quite proud to say, or I have been quite proud to say, the last couple of days has pushed me over 20,000 views, which is pretty cool. It's a significant number, 20,000. But the problem is that now that YouTube has changed the way that they do their advertising and revenue models, it's not that your popularity or income or revenue stream isn't based on views anymore, it's based on view time. So you could have 20,000 views but only have each video being watched for a couple of minutes at a time, which is pushing people to make longer videos, which people don't tend to really want to watch. I quite like watching Dan's channel because, sorry, let's use Nerdcube's real name. I tend to watch Dan's channel because he's got 15-20 minute videos. I watch Ashen's because he has 5-6 minute videos. I'd kind of do both. I do the long streams, tend to be the long videos, jump.
Engaging jump.
And my review videos are the shorter videos. So I've got kind of had something on there for everyone. So if you want to sit and watch something while you're working, and you want a 2.5 hour long video of someone nattering shite and playing a video game all night, then you've got that there. If you want just a quick filler while you have a cup of tea, or something to fill 5 minutes of your time on the phone when you're on the bus, then you can do that on my channel as well. And it wasn't really a conscious decision, but it's just the way that the things that I do have kind of worked out. So, but it doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter how many people actually watch the videos. What matters is how long they watch those videos for. So the short videos are going to tend to be not the ones that are going to create the revenue. The ones that are going to create the revenue for the channel would be the longer ones, like the Twitch streams and anything that I do like a Let's Play video, which I do intend to do at some point once I start getting away from this RPG thing and work settles down a little bit. At the moment I'm doing the Batman videos, the Lego Batman videos, which are working okay. I've done that already, I'll do it again. Which is working quite well and is filling in a bit of space when I get in the afternoon. Open system map.
System cartography.
So D3. A, B, C, D, 3. Ooh. Close system map.
Leaving map.
So, I've never really actually yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, I only watched that video about 10 minutes before I set the stream up. I was watching it while I was having my technical difficulties. He was actually saying that he's actually, at the moment, he's getting 1 million less. He was getting 11 million last year at this time because he was doing his playthroughs. This year, roughly at the same kind of time, he's getting 10 million. So he's lost 1 million views this year for each video, for sort of the period of time, which shouldn't really affect him all that much. But it's the length of time people are watching the videos that's generating the stream. It's not the actual watch. It's not the actual view itself. And that's exactly right. I mean, he's lost some of his revenue. He's the pressure to keep on making videos and doing more things is having its toll. And it's really sad to hear that the way that YouTube has changed, especially after a lot of people are now making a living doing the YouTube videos. They seem to be putting things in place that are stopping people from doing that, and I can't understand why. Because it's those revenue streams and it's those people getting the views and keeping the job going and keeping their popular channels going that's keeping people coming back to YouTube and watching the videos on YouTube. They've got a lot of rivalry now. I mean, they've got things like Twitch are popping up, and there's more and more streaming things going on every day. YouTube's trying to capitalise on that with doing the YouTube live stuff by jumping on Twitch's bandwagon. But by doing this kind of thing to the people who are populating their website with stuff, they're gonna get to a point of pissing people off, and I can't help but think that they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot. If they're generating the ad money or the revenue from people doing these videos and giving them a share of that revenue, then it's a share of that revenue. It's not taking the revenue from them. They're still making money hand over fist, and they're trying to put that. It just seems like they're trying to put that in jeopardy by stressing people out. I mean, I know that it's getting. I've heard quite a few people nowadays saying that it's getting more and more difficult to keep YouTube going as a revenue stream and keep it as your primary job, if you like. And it's more and more people are having to start taking on second jobs to try and supplement their income. So it's yeah. In order to try and push things as a live content provider, they should be pushing those members who are already part of it and not making them suffer because they do static videos or pre-recorded episodes of stuff, but try and push live content for its own benefit. YouTube Red's thing, by saying that you can't have the revenue from the views, you have to have the revenue from the length of time watched. Live content streaming is a very much in and out type thing. You're not having somebody sit there for the entire duration of the video quite a lot of the time. I know that for my videos I'll tend to get people who come and go. They'll come in for a few minutes, pop out again, pop back again a bit later on. They'll do the same on YouTube, and is that how they're going to balance that as well? Is that how they balance that market? It just seems meh. If they're trying to push the focus towards live content, they're doing it the wrong way. Punishing the people who have got them to where they are is not the way to keep your business model going. If they want to push people to live content provision from their own channels, then they have to support those existing channels and those existing revenue streams. Otherwise, people are going to say, well, if I'm going to start going towards live content on YouTube, who's to say that down the line they're not going to do the same thing with that, and then scupper that revenue stream for me as well? Which means that Twitch essentially gets all the business. So, I mean, you've got things like Facebook now are doing live streaming, and it's not going to be long before they start doing live game streams on Facebook as well. So people's Facebook channel will become the be-all and end-all of everything they do in their life. And soon you'll get other things like Twitter will jump on the bandwagon, Google Plus, Google Hangouts, all that kind of stuff are also going to get on that bandwagon. So exactly, that's exactly what I'm saying, Blazer Jake. They're all going to Twitch and doing stuff on Twitch, and that's exactly what Nerdcube has said. He's gonna stick himself on Twitch and keep Twitch going, and see what happens with that. And if that ends up being the thing that he starts to enjoy more, which he's already said he enjoys it more at the moment, it's sit down in front of a mic and do your shit, which I enjoy, and I'm not that great at it. I mean, Dan's got this natural sense of humour that just comes out in everything that he does. This natural reaction that just makes people want to watch him and laugh alongside whatever it is he's doing. I don't know if I'm particularly as good as... Well, no, I'm not as good as that, but I have a different method of doing things, and I don't know if... I mean, I just know that I enjoy doing it. And if he enjoys doing it, and he gets the people behind him who enjoy him doing that, then Twitch could be his way forward. And I would be behind him on that, to be honest. You do what it is that you enjoy doing. You don't do a thing because you don't enjoy it. He chose to do YouTube videos because it was something that he was making money from and he was enjoying. But it's become more than a job now. It's become to the point where, like he said, he's drinking at 10 o'clock in the morning to get through the day. That's not healthy. He's admitting to himself that he's having to take this time off for mental health reasons. And that's because of the way that YouTube has pushed its branding. That's wrong. That's just fucked up. Absolutely fucked up. Now take it from me, as somebody who was doing something he enjoyed for a long time and then it ended up causing him to have a slightly nervous breakdown. I understand exactly where he's coming from with that. So yeah, I think he's done exactly the right thing. So that was D3. What's next? We're on D2. I'm just pointing out that this market that is shifting to live sites like Twitch is changing the culture of what people enjoy. Open system map.
System map.
The culture of what people enjoy is changing all the time. A few years ago, you'd never have thought that people would actually want to sit down and watch other people play games. If you weren't somebody who was actually into watching people play games like I was, it's taken a lot of people by surprise. For me, it was not a no-brainer. Closed system map.
Exiting
because when Halo first came out, I happened to be house sharing with a guy who'd just got an Xbox and bought Halo, and I had no greater joy than sitting watching him play that game and following the story basically, rather than actually having to work out the puzzles and stuff myself. But I had that additional part where if he did get stuck, I was there to help out if needs be. And that was fun. Having somebody there sitting playing a game and then watching them play it and potentially having a bit of input to help them is nice. Twitch streams and YouTube videos, people like Squirrel have made a living from that and done very well. And it's because they engage I think it's because you engage the viewer. And I have to admit, in terms of people who do get into the sort of high levels of thousands of viewers all the time, like Squirrel, who's got on the region of 3,000 viewers at one time, there's a reason he's got that amount of viewers. But you have to be careful, because if you then change the way that your stream works, or you change your attitude towards the stream, because you feel that you have to make a slight change because you're making a change in the direction that your channel is going to go, then you run the risk of losing some of those viewers. YouTube's not as much of a risk in that sort of sense, because it does tend to be a more static kind of medium. It's not often that you'll find a YouTube content provider will change the kind of stuff that they're doing, because that's how you lose the market. And as Dan himself said, taking a year break can be shooting himself in the foot, or could be like the death knell for his channel, because people will know that he's not going to be there. I mean, I get what you say there, Blazer. I mean, it's the same thing for me. I mean, I've had a YouTube channel for a hell of a lot longer than I've had a Twitch channel, but there was never anything I really thought was engaging with it. I could stick some stuff on there, record some videos and put them on there, and did a couple of trailers and a couple of early videos that just were just me mucking about. But it was never really that rewarding. Whereas I got into Twitch primarily to record the screen. because I was trying to record something. I can't remember what it was. Oh, I'm sure it was RPG related. It always is. But it's one of those things where it just never really took off in my head, and it didn't engage me. And I thought, if it doesn't engage me, then anything I try and do with it's going to be boring. And it's not going to engage anyone else, because I'm not going to have the enthusiasm shown through there. And if you don't have the enthusiasm shown through the screen, then no one's going to engage with you. So that was the way that it seemed that it worked for me. And then when I got into Twitch, I did it because I was trying to record something, and I found that while I was enjoying it, while I was recording it, people were popping in and saying hello that I knew, and they'd sort of followed the channel, or I told them I was doing something, and they popped on and I thought I'd give it a go. And I really enjoyed the back and forward conversation, a bit like you and I are having, Blazer Jake, at the moment. Having this back and forward interaction with the people who are watching your video is very, very rewarding, and I really enjoy it. I've been lucky so far not to have any trouble, so I will say that. Open system map.
System
And I know
map.
that's more of a luck thing than anything else, because it is one of those closed system map.
Leaving map.
Very kind of, it's very likely to happen if you're putting yourself online all the time, and especially now that I'm getting more viewers than I have done before. There's more people are watching the channel and more people are doing things alongside. And the further up those lists of viewers or lists of channels that I get, then obviously the more likely it is that some nefarious is going to come in. But then that's fine. As I say, I don't mind that kind of stuff. That's what I'm doing this for. It is engaging and interactive, and I think there's that part that if you're sitting there watching a video and somebody gets stuck, you can then say, oh, you've missed this bit. That's rewarding for you as a viewer as well, and it's rewarding for me as a player, because it means I don't have to struggle and get stuck. I could do with a bit more people watching me when I'm doing the Batman stuff, actually, because those are getting quite, for essentially kids that are going, games that are going towards kids, they can be quite complex and quite confusing sometimes. You tend to get locked into a kind of an idea, and then you forget how to come out the other side of it, or look beyond the pale, or beyond what it is you're actually trying to do. So, but yes, that was a bit of a shock. Yeah, it's kind of sad to hear that Dan's feeling the way he's feeling. He's unlikely to be watching this because he's obviously far too busy and probably not that fussed about other people's content. But if he is watching, if you are watching, Dan, then get well soon, take care of yourself, and I hope you feel better soon. And if you feel that you can't come back to YouTube because it's a pain in the arse, don't fucking come back. Stick on Twitch. If you enjoy Twitch, do Twitch. Your hobby shouldn't define who you are. You should define what your hobbies are, or define what your job is, or define who you are as a person. And if you have moved away mentally from YouTube as a video provider, or as a content provider, or something like that, and you can replace it with Twitch and it gives you more rewarding experience, then fucking do it. Damn straight, man. Open system map.
System cartography.
Right, that's BC... ABC4. Boop. Close system map.
Closing map.
Haircut Saturday. Definitely haircut Saturday. I will point out now that I've got my subscriber icon done, all finished and polished off now. There it is. That's probably not going to be the permanent one, that's just one that I like because I've got a rubber stamp of it. See? Yay! So yeah, anybody out there who's watching and wants to subscribe just so they can use my rubber stamp, feel free. If you don't subscribe because you enjoy the channel, that's obviously a lot better. But if you like the rubber stamp, then Why not? Are you finding the head roll useful? I don't actually know. I mean, it's nice to have that freedom of movement, but it's not really adding anything to my experience, to be honest. I think after a year or so of using, I think maybe more like 2 years actually, of using this thing the way I've been using it, I'm finding it quite hard to get used to the way it works. I'm also sweating like bugger. There's a bit of a buzzy noise going on. I'm going to put the fan on. Oh, that's slightly better. I'm thinking, well, the head tilt and the open track and using all that kind of stuff has helped in a way. So I can now go to the extensive movement of the head tracker and not screw it up. So open track is actually keeping the ED tracker's driver honest, which is nice. So I'm not having to recalibrate as often as I was, but the drift's a little bit worse. That's just tonight, although I think it seems to be sorted out now since I recalibrated and did the bias again. Yeah, it's alright. I'll get used to it. I need to sort the sensitivity out, because as far as I'm concerned it's still a bit too sensitive. Because I need a bit of a dead zone maybe, because that must be really disorienting for you guys. I find it disorienting because it's difficult sometimes to keep track of the letters. What I'll do is I'll slow down again so I don't overshoot or anything, and then I'll go into the open track and set the mapping up. Right, so I'm taking that across to 25, 20, 25 and 25. Okay, let's try that. Oh yeah, that's better. Assume you're still waiting news from your last draft. Yes, I've not heard anything back yet. It's been over a week now. I know they're busy, but I know it's a big book, a lot to read. But yeah, I might fire an email off tomorrow actually and chase up. There's actually one more thing I want to ask them as well, cheeky bastard that I am. Am I going to the expo? Well, I'm coming to the convention shortly, Garzini. I was just finishing off the conversation about Dan. And the YouTube stuff. But alright, I'll go there now. There are two things coming up in the next few months as far as Elite's concerned. That's Fantasticon, which I'm going to, and which will be my first opportunity to sell the RPG, hopefully. Albeit in purely electronic form, because I won't have any hard copies at that point in time, because I just don't have the lead time to get it done. But yes, I will be at the expo, and I have already arranged with Ed to try and say that I'm going to be selling the RPG there as well. And he said that they'll see what they can do, so I'm pretty confident I should be okay. Tickets are sorted, my rooms are booked, and yeah, we're going to be there. First time I'll have gone to one of these things at any convention of sorts in London. apart from one that I went to for Microsoft years and years ago with work. We got a minibus and headed down. It was probably the worst experience of my life because I fucking hate London. But yeah, we're going to be in the Premier Inn that's near Victoria Park. Sorry, Elizabeth Park. So we should be a fairly okay distance from the place where we're supposed to be. And we can't really. I don't think we can actually get anywhere closer, to be honest. That is roll, isn't it? Right. Okay. I think roll's too much. Let's go back into roll, and I'm going to bring that. I'm going to ramp that down to 50, and then I'm going to put that down to 10. Wait. What's next? ABC 5. That's going to be that one, isn't it? That's nicer. That's a lot nicer. What do you think?
Heat sink deployed.
What?
You're welcome.
What? I think I put that roll down a little bit too much there. Let's just put up a little bit more. $60 by 60. Put that up. A smoother curve. Let's be 25 by 15. Okay. This is done with this system. Yay! I can finally meet the Garzini! Copy. Open galaxy map.
Stellar cartography.
Oh.
All.
Okay. Typically it's the last one, eh? Close galaxy map.
Exiting map.
Jump.
Preparing for jump.
Oops, missed it. Open system map.
System map.
Planet 3. Close system map.
Leaving map.
don't have OB and A selected because they're not refillable. And for when I'm doing my exploring missions, I tend to have the ones that are unfuelable deselected so that I know I've got more of a chance of being able to refuel every stop. Are they? Well, in that case then, it must be the other reason, because there was one of two reasons why I've got them unselected. And because I don't play this very regularly, it's one of those things that slips out of my head, what with all the other stuff that goes on in my life. So the reason they're probably deselected then is because they're less likely to have habitable worlds orbiting around them. I can fuel from them. I can refuel with them, not off them. Honestly, grammar costs nothing. I don't want a monster's construction kit. I bought the ones I wanted. Now fuck off and stop bothering me. You can go away as well. You can go away. I just broke that bloody thing. You're spam. That's food. That's notification that I've updated stuff. I know I've updated stuff. I've fucking updated it. Stupid fool. Open system map.
System cartography.
Planet 2. It's a cute little system this, I like that. Close system map.
Exiting map.
I'm actually going to change the tracking again. So I'm thinking that my pitch and my roll are a little bit too high. So what I'll do is I'm going to bring that a little bit further down. Bring that down to 100. So 70 and 100. Oops. In 100. By 150. Let's see how that works. Not bad, that should do. Right, another system down. One of the ones that's hard to type, which is why this clipboard is a fucking amazing thing. Open galaxy map.
Stellar cartography.
Ugh. Closed system map.
Closing map.
Closed system map.
Closing map.
Yeah, the hotter starship supposed to go to look zones farther out, but one of the things I was recommended to do as part of exploration, if I'm looking for an Earth-type world, then the most likely places for them to be is around yellow stars. Hence why all I really had selected was yellow stars at one point. And I've kind of expanded back out again because of various different planets needing to get put onto the list of things to search for. But that's the reason, that's what I was told. If it's wrong, it's wrong. It didn't bloody work anyway, so... Hey. Jump.
Jump.
Open system map.
System map.
So we're looking at planet 8.
Wing
1, 2,
management.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That looks like an Earth-like. Closed system map.
Leaving map.
So yeah, there's a lot of things to try and get sorted out before Fantasticon comes along. Excuse me, I'm going to have to stand up and stretch my legs for a moment so you're going to get Chuch's belly shot. I'll step to the side to make it easier for you. Less disgusting. Yeah, so the plan is to try and get a lot of the sort of in book or in around book content for the RPG done. A lot of the I'm going to try and get some of the Kickstarter pledge stuff, things done. The main thing to do, kind of with the release of the book, would be the Games Master Screen pledge level. So that was one of the things that was put on there as an additional extra. So I've been trying to get that designed lately. As well as that, there's a few of the things that Frontier have asked me to change in the book have meant that some of the marketing stuff I had done. Now, Garzine is already aware of some of this stuff. One of the things they've asked me to change is the tagline for the game. So So I'm not allowed to use the phrase role-playing in the Elite Universe or the Elite Universe role-playing game, because I'm not allowed to use the phrase Elite Universe for whatever reason. I'm going to cast no aspersions on names or entities who may have caused this to become an issue. But if you're watching this, then you know who you are. You have my undying enmity. Open system map.
System cartography.
No, wrong planet. Try that. Close system map.
Exiting map.
Which means that obviously the banner things that I've had made a couple of years ago for marketing the game and trying to get some awareness around it, and trying to make sure that it's not just going to be a flash in the pan thing that has zero opportunity to be exposed. It was one of the things I decided to do from sort of Kickstarter funding type stuff went towards it. So unfortunately they have that tagline plastered all over it, so I've had to change that. I've had to change some of the content of those banners, because having to remove all the references to Elite Universe or the Elite franchise itself, because it's an Elite Dangerous license, not an Elite license, an Elite Dangerous license. And having read through the backlog and the backstory and some of even the stuff that I've written myself about it, it is a very valid point. It's an Elite Dangerous contract, it's an Elite Dangerous product. And fair enough, I have gone and marketed it on the website and on various different places as an Elite Universe type thing. Even though the phrase Elite Universe has been there since the start, the actual text of things on the Kickstarter does describe it as being an Elite Dangerous product. So yeah, I don't really have a leg to stand on to try and keep that. I did argue the toss about it, but I was told in no uncertain terms to fuck off. So that means I need to change the banners. So I've been trying to design things around that as well. I'm also trying to design, in potential, I need to design some new leaflets, because I won't be able to use them either. So there's a little bit of a money sink going on at the moment that I'm trying to fund partially myself, without touching the Kickstarter funding as much as I possibly can. Now, go here, there should be a planet quite nearby. That's the one I've just got, so it's that one. Okay,
Retracting
apologies.
docking modules.
I'm going to have to slope off for a few seconds. Because something has just happened I need to take care of. So I'm going to go on a short break. I'll put my pause screen up if I still have it. No, I don't have an image of it.
Hello, I'm Orion.
I'll do. Right, I apologise, I'm going to have to go and do check up on someone. I shall be back shortly. If you can pause for a few minutes, Karumba, I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Enjoy the music for the time being, which I'll ramp up the volume of. No more because I can't. And I shall speak to you soon.
Module deactivated.
twice as bright burns half as long. And you have burned so very, very brightly, Roy.
All.
Back! Disaster averted. People helped. Missions accomplished. All that jazz. Headset's buggered. Stephen Curry! Hello there, matey Bob. No, you've not missed it, I just had to take a bit of a break. Missions to be accomplished, that kind of thing. Right. Okay, let's get back on with it again. So we just finished off this system, I think, haven't we? So that's call sector done. Paste.
Boosting thrusters.
No. Doop. Leap. Schmock. Maui 1. Wow. Open galaxy map.
Stellar cartography.
Oh yeah, you keep coming in right at the very end, don't you, Stephen? Maui 1. Close galaxy map.
Closing map.
Go on then, Carumba, let's have your question. I was just about to say, once I'd got targeted on there, I was just about to say, let's have it. But go on, I'm not going to promise I can answer it, because if Michael can't answer it, then the likelihood would be that I can't answer it either. Jump.
Preparing for jump.
So, AI. Oh dear. Was there a point in elite history where the creation and use of AI hit a crisis, leading to a battle or overnight destruction of AI which some escaped? Did a newly created AI race flee humanity trying to stop from coming into being as a new race? Bloody hell! I'm going to be completely honest with you on this one. That's a lovely star, by the way. Pretty. Open system map.
System map.
The AI thing. Bloody hell. B10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, hang on. Wrong system. Do you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do A first, because I'm not going to go from A to B, then back to A again, then back to B again. That's faffing around far too much. So I'll start with A8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good.
Boost activated.
Clob. Close. Oh God. Close system map.
Closing map.
That's the one I was trying to think of. The AI thing. Right. I honestly can't tell you what the true story is, because it's not something that was expanded on when we were doing the background documentation. It was mentioned that something happened, that there was an incident, but it was never expanded on as to exactly what that incident was, and that's as much as I can say about the official side of it. But it wasn't anything nearly as kind of advanced as what you're saying there. I think it wasn't like a race of AIs evolved and then did a Terminator thing and then went off on their own. It was more to do with, it was contained on Earth more than anything else, is the impression that I get from the kind of idea. I did expand on it quite a lot in the first draft of the book. The interesting thing about it was that I was given permission to expand on it, and I did submit something to Michael that was a bit of an expansion on it, and he did say generally at that point it was okay, but it didn't get through the first draft. Essentially it was one of the things that was lost in the 1,000-word Great Cull. Sorry, 100,000 word Great Cull, because it was one of the things that was when I was told to take all the creative elements away and just leave the background stuff as the stuff that had been signed off in the background documents, because I had expanded on that 1 or 2 lines of text and actually described what happened, they said it wasn't allowed. So sadly, I did have an expansion within the book as to what that is, but it's been nixed as being non-canon, so it's not allowed to be in the book. Fiery Toad! It's the Toad's viewers! Hello everybody! Welcome to the stream, everybody. I don't think I've been croaked before. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Open system map.
System cartography.
Amazed it actually had that. Bloody hell. Right, so now we're looking at B10. Fiery Toad himself! Hello! So that's that one. Bop. Closed system map.
Exiting map.
Hi everyone, I'm not going to say hello to you all individually. The Wurzel, yes I am. KZ Fusion, Black Supreme 1064, Megalon 23, Draxel, Fiery Toad, and, well, it's Karumba, we know him. I think this is the first time since I've achieved some degree of double-figure popularity that I've actually had a moderator in the chat. I'm very impressed. Hello KZ Fusion, thank you for the follow, very much appreciated. Hope you enjoy what you see. And Draxel as well, Drazkul, sorry. Thank you also for the follow. Right, I shall go to the back to the question I was asking. Commander Whiskey Galore, good name, but not with the E in it. If you're going to be Whiskey Galore, it's got to be no E, because then it's proper Scotch whiskey then. Yeah, see? Caleb Dark. Hello sir, how are you doing? Thank you for the host as well, Fiery Toad and KZ Fusion. Wow, admin stuff. So as far as the AI thing is concerned, there was more to your question, wasn't there, Karumba? Let me just scroll back up and have a look. Was it right. Basically, I did, based on that 1 or 2 sentences, I did write something up, and I wasn't allowed to put that into the book because it's not canon. But there is a possibility. Thank you for the follow, the Wurzel. Very much appreciated. Hope you enjoy what you see. I may, if I'm permitted, because it's completely off my own head. It's not based on anything more than 2 lines of text that says there was an incident, and it's based that there is. I have put some stuff in myself based on around those 2 sentences to kind of say this is what could have happened. It's not canon. It's not what actually happened, but I may put it up on a website someday. I wouldn't be the lore master if I didn't. There's also a scenario. Actually, there's an interesting thing. The second sample mission in the book. I completely forgot about that. When the book comes out, which I assume you've bought, hey. Read the second sample adventure. That might give you some idea of where I was kind of going with the ideas. But there are kind of 2 aspects to the AI thing that I did touch on at one point. Obviously the first part of it was Nyx, which was the original AI rebellion type thing. And then there was the second concept which I put in there was an independent development, because the way I see it in history, right, as far as AI is concerned, the technology is there. The technology is kind of here now to have some kind of AI, but we are looking at we're touched on the edge of AI in the Elite universe all the time, because if you look at the kind of semi-canon status of the HCS voice packs AIs, the quantum whatever it is, then there is a kind of touching on the edge of artificial intelligence kind of feel to the Elite technology, in that it's capable of doing it. It's possible that it can be an emergent intelligence, but it's nixed as soon as it gets anywhere close to that status. So there are obviously going to be mistakes that occur and things that perhaps those who don't want to keep up with the way that the law works would go. And using that kind of justification, I did come up with a couple of scenarios that were inserted into the background and history section as hooks for plots going forward, or hooks for stories that people have the ability to expand on. And that's one of the main concepts that was key to this book, was trying to create a background section that not only had the canon stuff that was in there, but the creative part of it that I was trying to get out there was to include a little bit of expansion on certain bits of it that weren't fully populated, because the background documentation tends to focus a lot on what was already kind of put into place, which is the battles, the wars, the chaos, the backstabbing, the politics, all that kind of stuff, which has kind of been what Frontier First Encounters kind of kicked off the idea of, and what Elite Dangerous has been kind of focused on all the way through its development and through its Galnet posts. It's always politically focused, it's always on this whole Empire versus Federation stuff. What I was trying to do with the background section was expand on the other parts of it, like Galcop and the Alliance and the independent worlds and the things that went on around the edges of it all, including things like technological advancements. How did ships get to where they were? How did hyperspace work? How did hyperspace and all the how did witch space and the Thargoid invasion, and how did that all affect humanity, and how did that all affect the galaxy itself? So it kind of went, I was trying to take it in a direction where there was more hooks in there for the non-political side of things, like the technological things, the sociological things, the effect on people that it was having. Not necessarily those in power, but the little people, and because that's what an RPG is based around. An RPG is based around character, and when you write, one of the things I've learned as a writer is the important thing to your writing is the character. If the characters are rich and the characters are important and the characters are relevant and realistic and believable, then you've got a much more established and immersive story. And obviously with an
Cargo hold.
RPG, you want to try and expand on that as much as you can. So my background section, the expansion on that was very focused on the people. What are the people like? How do those people work in the galaxy? How do they get on with the politicians? How do the people down in the bottom end of everything? How do they function? So as far as that's concerned, there was scientists, there was AIs, there was the whole bits around all that that I did try and build up on, but sadly, as I say, it was nixed. I'm gutted, because I was quite pleased with it. There was a lot, but then that's editing for you. You will lose bits that you really love. But the point is here that the reasons for not being able to put that in, I don't particularly agree with, and that's one of. I'm going to be honest about it here, and if Frontier hear this, then they're going to be kind of scratching their head and giving a bit of a frown and a bit of a tut shake of their head. But that's one of the reasons why I kind of went quiet over the whole thing. Sentient AI or emergent AI. So an AI, an artificial intelligence itself, is an intelligence. But yeah, sentient AI, but the potential for sentient AI was also frowned upon. So any AI that was sufficiently advanced to have the threat of becoming emergent and becoming an intelligence rather than just a series of programmed responses, once it started to have the potential to develop in its own way without guidance from a programmer, was the things that were banned. But yeah, that was one of the reasons why I wasn't particularly happy when I was told the 100,000 words had to go and all the different things around the edges of that to the end of November last year. Because at that point it very much felt like all the creative elements that I'd introduced to turn it from a political and military backgrounded universe and turn it into a more people-oriented universe had been thrown away, and that hurt. And that was difficult to cope with at the time, because it felt to me like the heart had been ripped out of that aspect of the book, and that it was going to feel very impersonal. And to be honest, if I'm being honest about it, although I'm happy with the way that the book sticks together and the way that it looks and some of the stuff that's in it, I feel there's a very much a core missing from it. The heart of what Elite Dangerous is there, but it's very much centered around Elite Dangerous. it doesn't. It now doesn't go as much under the hood of spaceships flying around in the universe as I would like it to have gone. And I really am sorry about that. It's one of the things that I promised the pledgers and the Kickstarters and so on that I'd be happy to do, and I'd love to do, and it's the one thing I haven't been able to achieve. It's very much the case, Karumba, yeah. The AI situation was very, could have been very deep. There was a lot of stuff in the AI situation that could have been very, very deep. Open system map. Hey, DJ Trusair, how are you doing? So we've done 10, so we'll look at 9 and 8. Close system map.
Leaving map.
Yeah, not bad. Had to have a bit of an unplanned break earlier because there was a bit of a crisis. But it's now averted and we're okay. But yeah, so I'm probably going, so I'm stupidly writing around AI. It depends what your ultimate plan to do with it is, Karumba. I'm not sure what Frontier plan to do with it. A lot of the problems I had with some of the stuff they were asking me to take out, and obviously you got to pick your fights with Frontier, and sometimes it's just the case that you feel. Sometimes I feel like I argue and I argue and I argue because I have a point of view, and I have a vision for what my take on the Elite Universe is, because my take is the Elite Universe. I'm not just looking at Elite Dangerous as a game, and I know that Mr. Braben and Mr. Brooks and everybody involved with Frontier say that this is Mr. Braben's vision, that this is what he wants a game to be, which is fair enough, but they gave me a license to write an RPG. They gave me a license to put the history into this book, to put the lore into this book. That was agreed at the point of agreement with the Kickstarter, was that I was allowed to put the lore into the book for the first time. And one of the things that I was very, very keen to make sure was clarified was that I would be able to put expansion of some of this knowledge in there, and that I'd be able to put some creative content in there. Because if you're writing a book, all the novels that were written have essentially created canon. Drew's book, the Tales of the Frontier book, Alan's book, everybody's book who's been written in the Elite Universe has added content. We were allowed to add planets and add systems and all that kind of stuff to name our own stuff. We've got the Prism system as a result of it. We've got the Slough, Kate Slough system. We've got the expansion of the Lave history. We've got a load of stuff that's created lore, it's created history. A lot of it has been set in the past. But I feel that I've not been given that opportunity. The opportunity I had to do that was to create distant past history. Like, what happened to the AI? Why are AIs banned? Why is all this stuff happening? What happened to the Thargoids back in the day? Why did Galcop collapse? Why did the Alliance form? All that kind of stuff was stuff that was well into my particular area of expertise. And something I would have absolutely loved to do. And I thought that was part of the agreement for the book. But whenever I tried to get that stuff put in, it was always frowned on. It was always said that no, you're not allowed to put that in. And then that nasty thing came in that says, only we create content, only we create canon. You are not allowed to create canon. What can I say to that? I'm writing a book. I'm writing a book that is set in their universe. I'm writing a book on their license. I've paid £4,500 through Kickstarter money, of other people's money, putting myself onto the deadline thing and the whole thing about that in order to write a book that is a creative work. Now, the only creative content I've put into it is the role-playing system. There are bits and pieces. I mean, obviously I've been able to put some player stuff in. I've been able to actually make the Teenage Historical Society a canon part of the universe now. I'm quite proud of that. I'm quite proud of that achievement. I've managed to put 2 of the player factions into the book as official canon things. in the writing, in the lore, as well as all that kind of stuff. I've managed to expand a few little things. I've managed to put a little bit of history in of the star system that I was allowed to name, and that one of the I've now managed to get it mentioned in the book, so that the person who paid the money to name the system now has their kid's name in the book, which I'm quite happy with as well. So, yeet. Open system map.
System cartography.
So, although I have managed to achieve some of the things that I wanted to set out to do, it feels like a very shallow victory. Closed system map.
Leaving map.
There's a lot that I had to take out, a lot that I was told I wasn't allowed to have, that initially I was told would be okay, that I'm quite bitter about. And I'm not going to lie, anyone who watches these streams or listens to me talk about the RPG on a regular basis knows how I feel about a lot of this stuff. And it's it's honestly part of the reason why it's taken so long to do. Because this book is no longer the vision that I had 4 years ago. Gradually, piece by piece, especially over that first couple of years, after I got back from a 6-month absence from being a bit, it's just, yeah, it became something I didn't want it to be. It became a fight. It became a battle. Every conversation I was having, I'm not going to confirm yes or no, DJ, because I don't know what I'm going to be doing at 10:30. Every conversation I was having with people just seemed to be an argument, and I had to explain every aspect of what I was trying to achieve, and it just felt like every time I had the conversation 3 weeks later it was back to the same conversation again, and I just didn't have any fight left. And for my own sanity, I had to stop it, and I had to just go, right, okay, I just need to get on with this, get it finished and get it out of the way now, because it was never going to be what I envisioned it to be in the first place. Too much had been cut out, and it was a 100,000 word loss of stuff that was just too far. And I'll be honest, I've not really got back from that. I'm not really back 100% behind the project that I initially envisioned and that I initially planned out with Michael. So, have they? Cool. It's always good to have updates. What, just tonight or recently? I've not had emails from HCS for a while, actually. I'm actually behind on nearly everybody's update. I think I've got all the new updates up to Verity, and I've not installed any of them yet. I'm really going to get back on track with the HCS stuff, because it's one of those things that's just gone. Oh, 22nd of June. Oh, right, that's when it was. Alright, that's a while ago then. It's not recently. So yeah, I probably have had them and downloaded them, but just not installed them yet, probably. That's been done in that system, I think, isn't it? Have you? Oh, thank you. It's very kind of you. Thank you very much. That was 8, so that's done. Next. Bop. No.
All.
Open system map.
System cartography.
No. Closed system map.
Closing map.
Open galaxy map.
Stellar cartography.
Sorry about that. That wasn't intended to be a big rant. Closed galaxy map.
Leaving map.
Jump.
Engaging jump.
Leo's got new sounds. Yeah, I saw the photos from Sean Schofield about it. He was photographed with Norman Lovett, so I'm looking forward to that. But no worries, we'll definitely get together at Fantasticon. I'll bring the laptop where it's got the excised content. What I'm maybe going to plan to do is sort of go through some of that content, sanitize it, and see what I can salvage. as maybe some kind of fanon stuff, you know, just some additional lore that's not part of the book, not part of the game. So. I'll see where I can get on that, but again, I have this issue that I have a lot of other stuff to get done, so not there yet. Pikes ahoy! I mean, the one thing I do have is I still have I've got a copy of every single draft of this book. So there's a full copy of the first draft sitting on the hard drive. There's also a full copy of the second draft before some of the little minor cuts were taken out. So the second draft was after the cull, and there was a few little bits and pieces taken out. Jump.
Jumping to light speed.
But I think the interesting thing going forward is going to be the first draft. So how much content is in that compared to what was in the second draft. Stuff that was specifically told is not allowed because of links to things that are going to happen in game. Obviously, I won't be revealing at all. At least not in public. You know, NDAs and all. Not that I have any NDAs, just a contract. But I'll say one thing. I know I've kind of waxed lyrical about the RPG tonight, which wasn't planned. But open system map. Open system map.
System map.
So we're looking at A8. It's the wrong mouse. 5, 6, 7, 8. Close system map.
Exiting map.
One thing that in one way I'm glad about, in another way I'm quite upset about, is that I've only got a one book deal. Elite Encounters has always been a one book deal, a one book license, one book and then that's it. Nothing else can be stuck on the outside of it, and anything else would be a separate license discussion. But at the moment, I'm quite happy with the content that's in there as far as the game system's concerned, and being kind of like an all-in-one play the game idea. And as a book and as a concept, I think it's going to work quite well. It would be lovely to put more stuff on it, because there is a lot of stuff in there that could do with being expanded on. And if I get approached to do another one, or a second edition, or a supplement book for it, would I do it? I've been asked this a few times, but would I do it? Probably, yeah. I probably would, as long as it wasn't going to be perhaps a full-size 300-page tome of lore and fantastic, amazing stuff. If it was a focused book that perhaps maybe expanded on some of the lore, or expanded on some of the factions, or stuff like what the EDRPG is a multi-book deal, and they've split a lot of their stuff out into separate source books. Whereas I've gone for the single book model, they've gone for the multiple book model. Hey Fiery Toad, good to see you. Thank you for popping in, it's been awesome to see you again. Loop of Shame! Thanks for popping in, Fiery Toad. It'd be great to speak to you again sometime, mate. I've not spoken to you for ages. You got a fantastic one and stuff. If so, I'll see you there. You handsome huckum manflesh, you. Open system map.
System cartography. All.
So A6. 2, 3, 6. Closed system map.
Exiting map.
But I mean, one of the things that I think I've learned from this has definitely been I need more clarity on what's expected and what's actually allowed and what's not allowed. And I think maybe one of the things that's shot me in the foot is really taking so long to do it. Where if I'd got this book out way back at the start when I said I was going to bring it out, even if I'd got it out within 2 years, before a lot of this other content was finalised, I might have got a lot more in, because the focus for the game and the focus for the background and the focus for the lore changed a hell of a lot in the last 2 years. But I'd love to, yeah. I'm still proud that I've got the book. I'm still proud that I've done the book. I'm so proud that it's going to come out, and I'm really pleased with how it looks. I just hope that after all the playtesting and tweaking and fine-tuning and procrastinating over the system and making sure that it works properly, it's going to be good. And I'm just hoping that people are going to like it, because that's the proof of the pudding. Probably going to do this system and then call it a night for tonight, guys. DJ's asked me to pop onto his stream at past roughly. Loop of shame! Ultimate shame. How many thumbs up does it get from Colin? Oh, at least 5. No, Colin's been amazing actually. I do owe a lot to Colin in this, and I've stated it as much in the book. I've stated it as much everywhere I can possibly state it, but it'll never be enough. I think Colin got me out of a huge fucking hole with the miniatures rules and the vehicle combat system, and he actually brought me some. Yeah, at least 5. At least. I've seen them all. It's bizarre. It's a sight to behold, seriously. Open system map.
System map.
So that was A6, no, A7. Close system map.
Closing map.
Yeah, I mean, he got one of the major blocks I had was getting these vehicle combat rules done. I promised one of the maybe the worst mistakes I made in the pledge promises or the descriptions for the book was a separate counter-based tabletop war game type thing. A visualization system for the ship combat to kind of bridge that gap between the computer games ship focused stuff and the RPG's person based focus. There had to be something I felt in between, and the miniatures idea, the ship combat system which would bridge that gap, was a concept I really thought was a very, very good idea. But it was so hard. It was so difficult to get right. And I think the initial concept I had of using it as a hex-based homage to some of the older tabletop games that I used to play when I was younger was a mistake, because I lost the focus slightly on that. But Colin's ideas and Colin's focus on that, and Colin's he's a wonderful person to bang ideas off, and he's a wonderful person to compromise with. And so we talked about, but before we even got together to do the official collaboration part of it, I'd said to him before that I'd be interested in collaborating on a board game with him at some point, if not necessarily the Elite one, then another one, because his ideas at that point were quite appealing. And I did ask if he wanted to collaborate at that point on the Elite one as well. And he said, "Nah, you're using hexagons. I don't like hexagons." So I like hex-based games like BattleTech and the Faster Star Trek board game. So I was keen on that, but no, as I say, it ended up that he was right, and it was quite restrictive. So we've gone for a system where, rather than using hexagons, which were kind of restrictive in the way that you could design the counters, and they're also a pain in the arse to cut out and find templates for, settled on a rectangle. So keep it simple, make it easy to cut out, easy to do as a print and play game, which achieves goal number 1 for that game anyway. It worked. So as I say, Colin's compromises and Colin's ideas were amazing, and they got me out of a huge creative hole that I was stuck in. Couldn't see anything out of at that point. Game design's hard. One of the major problems I was having with the design was the fact the counters were too damn small. I was trying to stick to a 25mm / 1 inch diameter hex base, and I was struggling to fit information that needed to be on there. And the idea never even occurred to me at that point to change the shape or make it bigger. And my big argument had always been, I don't want to make it bigger. If you make it bigger, it's not handy, it's not portable, it's not going to work. And what he said, I can't remember the exact words, but basically what he said was, well, it works for Fantasy Flight games. And that was roughly the point where I started looking at their products, like the Star Trek and Star Wars miniatures games that they have. And the bases that they use are huge rectangles, and they work, or huge squares, and they work. Okay, they have the models that go with them, and essentially I'm using them as I'm using the same kind of idea, or at least a regularly sized rectangle or square. Essentially, I'm using a 4x4 square base with a picture of a ship on it. A print and play game, simple to cut out, simple to do, clear to see. It's big enough that you can put the markings for your turn circles and everything on the base itself without compromising the visibility. And we've printed a few off and played with them, and fuck me, it works. And it works really bloody well. So that was A7. I've not done B1 yet. Open system map. Open system map. Open system map. Okay, so that's A7, so now we're on B1. Close system map. Close system map. I think Orion may have crashed. Right, give me a second here. Let's go back into Orion and see what's going on. Boost.
Thrusters full burn.
There we go. Open system map.
System map.
Closed system map.
Leaving map.
He's back. He's back. It's been a while since I've had a rant about the RPG. I mean, anyone listening to what I've been saying for the last 15-20 minutes or so must be kind of thinking that the RPG's been absolute hell. And I'll be honest, sometimes it has. It's been a bit difficult from time to time. There have been low points, there have been high points, there have been mediocre points. The low points are definitely the stuff that I've lost. The shift in focus. Basically twice there's been a shift in focus for the game's focus, for want of a better word. And both have been hard to deal with. But that said, what I've brought out, or what I've completed and handed in, yeah, I'm happy with it. I am happy with it. I'm proud of what I've done. I'm proud of what I've achieved. I've done it all on my own, apart from a bit of help from Colin, and obviously the proofreaders from playtesters. But as far as design's concerned, you know, I've not got a team of artists, or a team of developers, or a team of mathematicians, or a team of writers and creative content producers all around me doing stuff for me. Anything I've needed to do, I've had to do myself, and if I've not known how to do something, I've had to learn how to do it. So in a sense, I'm quite proud of the fact that I've done that. You know, I'm 40 odd year old. It's not an easy thing to do, to learn new things when you're this age, especially when you've got so many other things going on in the background. So I suppose in that aspect, without trying to be egotistical about it, I'm quite impressed with what I've done. You know, I looked at it the other day when I was putting together the final draft to get sent off for the release candidate, with the newly designed cover and all that kind of stuff, which I can't wait to show you guys. I was hoping it would be ready, it'd be approved by today, so that I could actually show it on stream. But I want to show off the graphics, and I want to show off the layout, and I want to show off some of the bits and pieces. But I need them to say it's okay to do that first. But no, I'll look at it, and I'll look back at some of the RPGs that I've played in the past, and I'll look at things like the Traveller RPG and Shadowrun and Earthdawn and the Star Wars role-playing game that West End Games did, and Space 1889. I look at mine and I think, you know what? It actually looks better than some of those. And these are games that have been produced by hundreds of different people, like basically a developer's page full of people. And I think, without the tools that we have and without the skills that I've either had or taught myself in the last 4 years, it would be a formatted Word document, which is what it was for about 3 years at the time that it's been around. But no, I mean, I think I've done okay. I think I could have done better. I think with some advice from other people, or some help from other people that were available, then I could have probably done things a little differently, and maybe done it quicker, and maybe done it in some ways better. But as far as I'm concerned, the decisions I've made have made a game that it's me. You know, you look at this book and you're going to look at me. That sounds really egotistical, but it's going to be the first published thing that I've done. And for Frontier to take it on board and say, after all this time especially, and the doubts that they must have had through the last few years, must be ridiculous. But whether this would ever get delivered to them, and what state it'd be in, because I'm sure that when I submitted that first draft, they looked at that and said, oh my god, this is a pile of shit. Because it looked awful. It was just a double columned Word document with fuck all in it. It was just, and if they've taken that final draft and they write me an email back saying approved, publish this, and they will help me push it, and it'll have their name on it, and it'll have their brand on it, and they're okay with me doing that for them, that's pretty cool. As a complete amateur at this, I'm not a professional publisher, I'm not a professional writer, it's my first published work. A battery of people have sat there and proofread this stuff for me for free, just for the fun of doing it. And that means a hell of a lot. A hell of a lot.
Helm.
Shut
Helm.
up. But yeah, just to get that thing back, to say that it could come out and it's going to be done and they're going to be okay to put their name on it and stuff. It does mean a lot. all the negativity aside, all the kind of the trips and tribulations and the things and the arguments and all that kind of stuff aside, we've got through it all, and it's come to a point where hopefully they're gonna say yes to it, and it's gonna be out there, potentially on shelves. I mean, that's pretty cool, and it's a hell of an achievement. I was thinking at one point about writing a book about the making of the book. Because it's to me it's been a hell of a story. I mean, I look back on some of the stuff that's gone on the last 4 or 5 years, and it's ridiculous. The amount of things that have changed in my life in that time is ridiculous. Are there going to be Elite Encounters t-shirts? Oh god, actually the wife and I were having this conversation on Saturday. Because she's got right into them. I mean, she's actually been quite blown away by some of the stuff that's gone on the last few weeks. I mean, she's seen the RPG now in its full glory, and she was blown away. And for my wife, who obviously knows me quite well and knows me as the person that I am, for her to sit there and say that's actually really good, given the fact that she's sacrificed so much for it, that she's so supportive with it. We've had our ups and downs. I mean, this book project has caused so many problems between us in the past. Just because of availability and time spent in the office when I should be doing things with her. She's been an RPG widow for the last probably 2 years. The first year wasn't overly bad because I had that issue where I couldn't look at a computer for 6 months. And obviously the blindness thing this year where I couldn't look at a computer for 3 months have meant that I've been kind of away from her quite a lot. But she looked at the book and said, you know what, it was worth it. And to hear that was amazing. The person who it's been affected, I mean, Frontier say they've been pissed off about it, Frontier say they've had their issues with it, people out there in the Kickstarter land have said that they're impatient and they're losing faith and they're regretting buying it and all that kind of stuff. But you know what, fuck them. Because they've not suffered anywhere near as much as my wife has. This was supposed to be a 1-year project, and through all the different things that have been going on, and even though a lot of the thing, or not a lot, but some of the things that have kept me from the book have been due to her health and issues going on with her health, for her to then turn around and say that it was worth losing me for that amount of time, it makes it all better. But anyway, that's beside the point. But the thing is that we were talking about this, and she's been so supportive and has said so many ideas. And one of the things she was saying about was looking at the branding for the book and the branding for the game, and the fact that I've got my own kind of Selezen branding for the channel. She's into this whole idea of doing merchandise around the publishing thing and me and all that kind of stuff. So she was thinking about things like Selezen t-shirts, and she was also saying, she said the same thing as you, can I use the Elite Encounters name, because that's the name of the book rather than the name of Frontier. Can I use the Elite Encounters name to make t-shirts with and sell t-shirts with the Elite Encounters logo on it? So that's an interesting idea. Now the problem with that is I don't know where exactly it falls. So I'd love there to be Elite Encounters t-shirts. If there's a market for them, people want that kind of stuff, then I'll do it. What I'd probably do initially is I would design one, I would take pictures of it, and I would say, right, this is the Elite Encounters t-shirt. If anybody wants one, add your name to this list. If I get X amount of names on that list, then I'll do a print run of them. So if I was going to do them, I'd want to do them properly. I wouldn't be wanting to just chuck it through Spreadshirt or something like that. I'd want quality t-shirts done properly with embroidered logos and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I would love to do Elite Encounters t-shirts. If it's going to become a brand, then that's great. The only problem with it is the name Elite. Am I allowed to use the name Elite? And the gut feeling I've got says no, it won't be allowed, because Elite Encounters and the Elite related content thereof is owned by Frontier. The name Elite is owned by Frontier. Elite Encounters, I don't know. Is Elite Encounters itself a brand? Is it a name of a product that's my property? Can I sell things based on that property rather than being based on Elite? The content of the book that isn't related to the Elite computer game apparently is mine from my contract. Does that include the name and the logo? I don't know. That's a legal question that I can't answer at the moment. So I don't know. I mean, the final logo isn't too far away from the logo that's on the website. If you look on the daftworks.co.uk/Elite RPG website, the banner across the top that says Elite Encounters, role-playing in the Elite universe, that Elite Encounters text is roughly what the logo looks like. But it's not really a logo; it's just the name of the book. But it's now the recognisable brand name for that product, if you like, looking at it from a marketing point of view. So that's what gets used going forward to identify that game. That will be the thing that's on the front of the book. And obviously, because there's a very low likelihood of a second edition because of the nature of the license, unless it sells really, really, really well and becomes a bit of a hit, then it's not going to have any supplementary information. Hey, look, there's Frontier's logo. Just noticed that. Is that not Frontier's logo on there in the yellow? Anyway. Open system map.
System cartography.
Poop. Pissing me off now. Close system map.
Closing map.
But the alternative is, I mean, obviously, as part of the terms of the agreement with Frontier, the content of the role-playing game section itself, once any reference to the Elite ships, the Elite vehicles like the SRV and so on, and the Elite ranking itself are removed from the system, then that system is still mine, that system is mine. That RPG, dice rolling, mind, body, senses, stat list, all that stuff, I retain the rights to keep that. And I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure that the word encounters itself isn't copyrighted. So I may actually call it. I may actually call that the encounter system. Encounters, the encounters role-playing game system. And obviously use that going forward as the kind of the thing that links any other RPGs that I write together. Because if I'm going to write more RPGs, I'm going to use the same system. I've not spent 4 years writing that game system to let it only get used in one game. I'm going to use it for other stuff. Hopefully. And then I think going forward I'll have the Encounters brand on it. Whatever that brand might be. Because the only thing I've got issue-wise with the logo as it stands is I like it, because obviously I've designed it and I've made it look the way it looks, is that it's based on the Elite logo. So Elite, the Elite text in the original game and some of the other supplements going forward has always been that kind of copperplate font. If I was going to design my own... Get out, Garzini, out. Never darken my door again with that kind of comment. Especially when you can't spell encounters. No, I said stop it.
Activating beacon now.
Fuck off with your beacon. So yeah, I'm probably going to use that going forward. Yeah, the logo, sorry. The typeface is essentially part of the Elite franchise as well, so that was dictated by that. But I've got a new part of the thing. One of the reasons that I wasn't going to change anything about the Daftworks brand and all that kind of stuff is that I wanted to keep the banners. So the roll-up banners that I have at conventions that I use for sales, that I was talking about a little while ago, that I'm going to have to change anyway. Now that I'm going to have to change them, it lets me change the Daftworks logo itself. So I have redesigned my Daftworks branding as well. So going forward, I can use that kind of idea to link together with any branding for any future RPG projects that I might do. So I don't know. Things are in flux at the moment as far as the way ahead. Because I always said at the very start of this process that I was hoping that the Elite Encounters experience would give me some kind of launch pad into doing game design as a job, or as a supplementary part of my income. And I'd love to be able to take it further and say, right, okay, Elite Encounters was just part one of the story. Now we've got all the rest of this stuff going on. Other products that we can put together, or other games that we can write, other scenarios that we can do, and potentially, if possible, more licensed products in the Elite Encounters brand that I can use within the Elite universe, or within the Elite Dangerous Galaxy, whatever we'll have to call it nowadays. So, as far as Daftworks is concerned, and as far as Selezen is concerned, they're both brands that I want to take forward in a lot of different ways. And I'm hoping Elite Encounters can be part of that. So, t-shirts. Hopefully, and to be honest, I am going to ask the question, Guardian. I'm going to ask. Because as I say, the wife asked about it the other day, and now you've asked about it. If it's something that people will buy, I'm quite happy to pursue that idea. Right, I'm going for that blue gash there. Oh. Alternatively, there's actually a blue crater there. Congratulations, Jake. I'm happy for you. Fortuitous timing. That means you can subscribe to the channel. That is awesome timing. How much over a year? This might not be the best place to land, actually. That looks relatively flat. Let's go for that. Wow, that is impressive. This landscape's very pixelated. Deploy landing gear.
Taking care of landing modules.
That might actually work out quite well. Well, hey. Nice landing. She's looking a bit worse for wear, isn't she?
All.
Well, that's that.
Acknowledged. Verity, why don't you explain?
Confirmed. A star, a massive luminous sphere of plasma, held together by its own gravity. They come in many different types and sizes. Their classifications are as follows. Blue stars are the hottest, and they're called O-type. The coolest stars are red, and they're called M-type. In order of increasing temperature, the spectral classes are M, red, K, orange, G, yellow, F, yellow-white, A, white, B, blue-white, O, blue.
She knows about all of the 88 constellations and much more.
So just grabbing a few space screenshots for some projects. Mainly the GM screen, which I'm looking for backgrounds for. I keep forgetting just to take ordinary space type background pictures. Space is very cloudy in this game. At least it's not blue like it is in Frontier First Encounters. Okay, so that's it. I'm done for tonight. Cyclonus Draconia, yes, it is the Orion Vice Pack. Vice Pack? That's a whole different pack. It is the Orion Voice Pack, yes. But I'm going to call it a night on that note, peeps. There's me. Actually, looks vaguely like me as well. It's quite impressive. Yeah, so I'm going to call it a night there. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the people poddling through on the way from other people's channels and so on. I'm sorry, Cyclonus Draconia, that you've popped in just at the very end of the stream. That's a bit of a shame. But by all means, feel free to watch the VOD or watch it on YouTube when I get it on there. And hopefully, the next time I speak to you, I'll have a published book coming out. So I'm hoping I'm going to hear something about this week. I know I said this last week as well. But I'm hoping that it's not going to take them more than 2 weeks to read my book. Cyclonus Draconia, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. I'm going to pop over to DJ Trusea's stream now. I'm probably going to nip on there and have a bit of a chat with him for a little while. He did ask me if I'd go on there. So I'll see what he wants. Given that I was gobbing off about lore stuff tonight, he's probably going to want to talk about lore again. He always does. But I'll pop in for a bit. So if you want to watch, want to listen, then by all means feel free to do that. I'll be happy to speak to you. But for the time being, everyone, take care of yourselves, fly safe, and have a good week. Take care.